AI assistants aren't a novelty anymore. They're becoming the default interface for work. The question isn't, should I use one? It's, which one will actually save me hours every week without breaking trust or creating more messes to clean up? In this video, I'm putting the biggest players, ChatGPT with its new voice experience, Microsoft's Copilot across 365, Google's Gemini inside Workspace, side by side with a new wave of specialized copilots. You'll see what they do well, where they still fail, and how to plug them into a day that already feels too busy. If you want more hands-on, money and time saved content like this, hit subscribe right now, tap like so this reaches more people who need it, and tell me in the comments which assistant you're betting on before we get to the results. Let's start with the shift you can feel. Conversation is now the UI. ChatGPT's voice experience moves past robotic dictation into real back and forth. You can ask follow-ups mid-sentence, steer tone on the fly, and have it read or translate with a cadence that doesn't sound like a GPS from 2012. That matters when you're drafting emails on a walk or turning a messy idea into 3 tight options with the right vibe. But the bigger promise is hands-free orchestration. Summarize yesterday's meeting, push the action items to our team channel, draft a follow-up for the client, and put a 15-minute review block on my calendar. One request, multiple outputs. When it works, it feels like you've hired a smart assistant who actually listens. When it doesn't, you get confident nonsense, so I'll show you guardrails that keep speed without sacrificing accuracy. On the enterprise side, Microsoft is fusing Copilot deeper into everyday tools. Think Excel that understands summarize this survey and highlight outliers, PowerPoint that assembles a first draft deck from a Word doc and a folder of images, Outlook that condenses a long thread into action items with owner and due date, and a unified Copilot search that surfaces the right doc, mail, or note without you remembering the file name. If your life already runs on 365, this tight coupling matters. Fewer tabs, less copy-paste, more time and flow. The catch is verification. In spreadsheets, a wrong summary isn't a typo, it's a decision risk. For financials, legal text, or reporting, you want human review and traceable sources, full stop. Google's lane is collaboration at scale. With Gemini and Workspace, static docs become more like living workflows. Ask docs to draft meeting notes and action items. Let Sheets suggest a structure for the tracker, then have Gmail propose replies that mirror the tone you used last time. Need to read a doc while commuting? Ask Gemini to deliver a clear audio summary with adjustable speed. For teams already deep in Drive, the win isn't flashy demos. It's 1,000 small frictions removed throughout the day. Faster search, faster drafting, fewer awkward handoffs. Now specialized copilots, the ones that go deep in one job instead of trying to do everything. A support copilot trained on your help center, past tickets, and macros can draft answers that sound like your brand and automatically tag, route, or close routine cases. That's a different league from a general chatbot. It knows your policies, SKUs, service tiers, and weird edge cases because you fed it that world, and it sits right inside your help desk. The same pattern applies in sales ops, research, compliance, and content ops. Start with your data, bind the Copilot to your workflow, and measure outcomes like time to resolution or tickets handled per agent, not just hours saved, but actual throughput and quality. So how do you choose? Use this 3-part test. 1. Time to first win. If you can't save 30 to 60 minutes on day 1, summarizing meetings, triaging inbox, cleaning a spreadsheet, you'll stop using it. 2. Workflow fit. The best assistant meets you inside tools you already live in. You shouldn't dance between new tabs just to get value. 3. Verifiability. For anything that touches money, compliance, or customers, you need provenance. Where did this answer come from? What sources were used, and how do I check them fast? Let me show you a practical morning setup you can steal. Voice ask your assistant for a 2-sentence recap of overnight emails, split into needs my response versus FYI. Convert the 3 most important into short draft replies. Confirm tone in your voice and approve. Ask for a 1-paragraph summary of your next meeting plus 3 questions to clarify scope. Paste those into the agenda. In Sheets or Excel, have the Copilot highlight anomalies in yesterday's sales and propose 3 hypotheses you'll validate later. Then pick 2 needle-mover tasks and park the rest in a follow-up queue the assistant will nudge at 4 p.m. The key is consistency. Don't make it a one-off trick. Make it your daily front door. To keep this honest, I ran 3 structured tasks across ChatGPT Voice, Copilot in 365, Gemini in Workspace, and a specialized support Copilot. Task 1. Plan a client week with calendar blocks, emails, and a 1-page status doc. Task 2. Turn raw notes and a CSV into a slide draft with a chart and speaker notes. Task 3. Triage a messy inbox, generate action items, and attach source links back to the original emails and docs. I timed each run, scored clarity and errors, and calculated net minutes actually saved after human review. Here's the pattern I saw. For ideation and tone control, ChatGPT Voice felt like the most human, great for drafting in your style and adjusting on the fly. For structured handoffs inside Office apps, Copilot won on integration, fewer copy-pastes, fewer broken links, faster pulls from previous files. Gemini shined in the search and synthesize steps across Drive, finding the right doc, pulling context, and keeping group collaboration smooth. And the specialized support Copilot was simply unbeatable in its lane because it had the company's actual brain, policies, past answers, and system shortcuts. Now let's talk guardrails. Hallucinations still happen, and they're dangerous when wrapped in confident tone. Treat outputs as drafts unless you can verify them. For numbers, require a source link or a cell reference. For emails, set Never Send Without Preview. For docs, enable change tracking and keep human-authored references at the bottom. Privacy and data control matter. Know whether prompts and documents are used for training, understand retention settings, and lock down sensitive data. Also watch for invisible work. If your assistant sends too many messages or assigns tasks too aggressively, you'll spend time repairing trust with colleagues. Set boundaries. Never assign tasks to other people. Always CC me on external drafts. Never delete, only archive. If you're building or leading a team, think in systems rather than features. A repeatable assistant loop looks like this. Define the role: calendar coordinator, inbox triage, report drafter. Write clear policies. Good is good enough criteria, tone guide, escalation rules. Feed it the ground truth, docs, templates, macros, and track 2 metrics that matter: time saved per week and error rate per 100 tasks. Review the loop weekly. Promote winning prompts and guardrails into your playbook. Retire workflows that look cool in a demo but fail in production. Here are 6 concrete playbooks you can deploy this week. 1. Meeting autopilot. Record your call, ask the assistant for a bullet recap, scoped to decisions, owners, and dates, and have it push action items to your project tool. 2. Content block factory. Give it 3 approved headlines, 2 product facts, and a tone guide. Get 5 social posts with variations and a 2-paragraph newsletter draft. 3. Research scan. Provide 3 sources and a question. Get a 3-part brief with quotes and links, plus a what's missing section you'll fill manually. 4. Spreadsheet cleanup. Ask for dedupes, outlier flags, and a short paragraph that explains what changed and why. 5. Support macros. Feed it your help center and let it draft response suggestions that agents edit and approve. Measure time to close. 6. Sales prep. Ask for a 1-pager on the account, 3 hypotheses on challenges, and 5 tailored discovery questions before the call. What about failure modes, the places these tools still trip you up? First is fast wrong. If you remove friction but not verification, you ship errors faster. The fix is traceability. Include source links or cell references in every summary. Show your chain of reasoning in the draft comment. Mark uncertain facts in yellow. Second is tone drift. If the assistant tries to sound like you but goes too formal or too casual, teach it with 2 or 3 approved examples and a one-line style rule like plain English, no buzzwords, 1 emoji max. Third is scope creep. An assistant that writes, schedules, and sends can easily overstep. Disable sending by default and create verbs, draft, queue, schedule for review, send only if I say ship. Fourth is dependency. Don't outsource judgment. The assistant should speed you up, not replace your ability to think, prioritize, and own the outcome. Let's address the obvious trust questions. Should AI assistants be labeled when they touch customer-facing messages? In high-stakes contexts, support, finance, healthcare, yes, disclose the use of automated drafting and keep a human in the loop. Should they learn from your data? Only with clear consent and boundaries. Use organization-scoped models where possible. Don't let private content leak into public training. How do you avoid AI-scented output that feels generic? Feed more of your own material and be ruthless about editing. The best results still come from human taste. What to keep, what to cut, and what story ties it together. If you're just starting, here's a 7-day ramp plan. Day 1. Pick 1 assistant and 1 workflow you do daily. Email triage, meeting notes, or a weekly report. Day 2. Write a mini-style guide in plain English and save it as a reusable instruction. Day 3. Connect the assistant to your calendar, docs, and task tool, but keep send disabled. Day 4. Run the workflow end-to-end and measure minutes saved. List 3 failure points. Day 5. Add guardrails, source links, never send, and a checklist for review. Day 6. Create a second workflow that reuses the same inputs, like turning notes into slides. Day 7. Decide whether to expand or switch based on results. The goal isn't to use AI more, it's to convert repetitive work into reliable pipelines you trust. If you lead a team, you can roll this out without chaos. Start with volunteers who want the time back. Give them a 2-page playbook, role definitions, guardrails, and metrics, and let them prove value in 2 weeks. Share the wins, share the error stories, and normalize the idea that AI-assisted is a quality process, not a shortcut. Rotate the best workflows into the rest of the team with short looms, showing exactly how to run them. The culture shift sticks when people see time return to them and fewer late-night catch-up sessions. Here's my bottom line. AI will not fix bad processes, it will accelerate them. The people who win aren't the ones who prompt the most. They're the ones who design the cleanest loops, add the right guardrails, and keep taste in the driver's seat. ChatGPT voice feels like the most natural drafting partner. Copilot is the king of I live in office, please don't make me switch tabs. Gemini is the glue for teams living in Drive, and specialized copilots dominate when they're fed your real data and tied to outcomes you can measure. Use each where it's strongest instead of forcing one tool to do everything. If this breakdown gave you real ideas and minutes back, subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive where I run a live workday sprint with assistants turned on and measure the exact time saved. Smash the like button if you want more practical, experiment-driven content instead of vague hype. And tell me in the comments 2 things. Which assistant you want me to test in a head-to-head next month, and which workflow you want templated for download. Meeting autopilot, inbox triage, or slide from notes. I'll pin the most requested one and share the prompts, guardrails, and checklists so you can put an AI copilot to work by tomorrow morning.